Hey guys, Alex here from Homeschool of Bel Air. On today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys an updated homeschool room tour. If you guys are interested to see what kind of changes I've made, stay tuned. All right, guys, so I'm going to start my room tour in a little bit. I want to give you guys a quick little pan, but I also want to talk to you guys a little bit as to what this room is because I've gotten a few questions as to our schoolroom. So my schoolroom is a loft style of room that actually sits above our garage, and it kind of goes a little bit into our dining room. It's an extra space. Back in the day when we first moved into this house, my husband just kind of used it as storage and a little man cave. As we started having children, this room was actually a playroom. So we just had shelves and shelves of toys. All the kids just we had a little area back here gated off. So my husband would be able to stay here while I worked and take care of the kids with just a big man cave slash playroom. So as we started homeschooling, we actually started homeschooling in a little bedroom downstairs. And that was just a spare bedroom. And we eventually decided that my husband no longer needed the man cave. We no longer really needed a playroom. And we converted this into our schoolroom. And that is how I have this schoolroom. Now it is a low ceiling on this side and a low ceiling on that side. A high peak here in the center. So the room is a little bit of an awkward room just because we have the low ceilings on these sides. We do have a lot of closet space. We have this full closet here and that full closet there. So it's a wonderful little space. So with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started in the entrance of our schoolroom. So in the entrance of our schoolroom, we have a little craft and art area. We've always had this little art and craft area here. I believe through the years, it has changed quite a bit. So basically anything that we would use as far as art projects, paints, paintbrushes, inks, color pencils, watercolors, anything like that you're going to find here. We have a couple of crafting supplies that my daughter likes to use quite a bit. That little shelf is pretty much hers. As far as these bins here, that's where I keep a lot of my tempura cakes and paints, some scraping tools that my daughter also likes to use. This bottom bin here has just a ton of extra scratch piece of paper, crafting paper, things like that. And down here, we have all of our liquid tempura paints and some extra oil pastels. These are a few new ones that I got for the kids for the next coming school year. And that's where you're going to find all sorts of stuff. This one is just a bunch of crafting things, from Velcro dots to glitters to just other little things that we might use, measuring tapes, things like that. As I pan back, this space here is our closet. I'm not going to go super in depth with my closet. This is a big mess right now. As I started reorganizing our schoolroom, a lot of things just kind of ended up here. So it's not super organized right now. I do have just extra, some of our holiday things are inside those bins there, just so you guys have an idea. I do separate stuff by winter, fall, and down there I believe is like party type stuff, like other holidays like Cinco de Mayo, things like that. Up here is where I keep my laminators, some my old combining machine, some paper cutters, and then extra art supplies. This art supply bin has just I want to say paints and alcohol and things like that that we might need for art stuff, but not necessarily something we use all the time. I have extra paper, drawing paper, watercolor paper, all in here that I do keep away from the kids because it's stuff that I pull out if we need it for a certain project. A lot of my old posters and things like that are there. And that is kind of what we have in this little closet. So if I pan over to this side, this is what I call Evelyn's little craft corner. This is an area where Evelyn just kind of comes and crafts whenever she's not doing anything. I did reorganize it for her and just kind of added a few things. Our construction paper, or not cart, but I don't know what this is called. A divider? I don't know. So I just kind of put it here for her. She has a little thing of extra just smelly erasers. We have, we sometimes melt crayons in like crayon molds or like those silicone molds. So we just have extra crayons in here if we ever want to craft anything like that. We have her little paints here and a little scroll that's from IKEA. If you guys see, she just cuts little scraps sometimes out. Down in the bottom, we have, I will start in the center here. We have a bunch of these glitter pens in here. There's some crayons back there. Down under, we have all of our Crayola markers. And then there's some daubers back there. Next to that, we have our Chunkies paint sticks. I love these little paint sticks. They're just a alternative to painting. They are mess free and a lot of fun to use. So we have all those in there. Some watercolor pencils from IKEA with some brushes. And then back there, she has her own little pan of tempura cakes. And then this she uses anytime she has to get water. So she gets water and then she uses these little areas for the paintbrushes. So everything is there. She knows where to get her things. Under there, I did find these little easels, and we have 4 of them. And these were from the Dollar Tree. They were, I think, $3 each. And with some art projects, we do need the little easels. We're going to be starting just doing more art projects, more painting. So I decided to go ahead and get those. Down here, we have our construction paper. This is the 18 by 12 construction paper. So it's the big ones. So I just kind of stuck them in there. Okay, so as we move to this side, we have a lot of little sketchbooks. I believe there's more little sketchbooks down here. Anything that she can just kind of use, because she was using a lot of my printer paper for drawing. So I filled this up for her so she knows she can just grab whatever from there. This next one here has extra little art supplies. Evelyn tends to make a huge mess whenever she grabs things from the art area. So her knowing that she has all this stuff here and it's easier to kind of put away, it makes it just a little more mess free. So she has her own little oil pastels in here. She has color pencils, these little watercolor smooth sticks. She likes anything watercolor, really. She likes to be able to add water to her paints. So these are great. They're kind of like the watercolor pencils, but they're more like in a smooth paint stick style. She has watercolors, a bunch of watercolors actually, because the boys sometimes grab them from here also. So I just like to keep an extra supply of stuff here in this little area. Down here, we have the Shades of Me construction paper. They actually had these on clearance at Walmart. So I forgot how much they were. I think they were 50 cents each. So I just stocked up. All this is actually from the clearance area, believe it or not. So we have all that there. Okay, so now next to the little craft corner, this is the new math designated area. My boys for the next school year are both working on teaching textbooks, and I just felt like it was easier to have them just kind of have everything that they need in front of them. So I decided to go ahead and get rid of my desk area, and I went ahead and moved it to this side. Now, I didn't buy too many new things. If you guys see, it's different. This was my old desk, so I just moved it over here. The only thing I purchased in this area are the chairs. Everything else I had. So the chairs were new. They're just cheap little fold-out chairs from Walmart. They were, I think, $17 or $18 each, I think. And the boys actually say they're really comfortable, so that's a plus. So this side is Vincent's area. Anything that he would really just kind of need for his teaching textbooks is going to be in front of him. He uses a whiteboard a lot. He uses a pencil sharpener a lot. There's extra pencils in here. There's calculators, dry erase markers, a dry erase eraser. And I actually have 2 of them here, of those dry erase boards. We do have the little 10 frame thing back here. Evelyn is actually the one using that right now. All her 10 frame stuff is here. I just can easily pull it out for her if we need it. Anything counting bears, counting centimeter blocks, anything like that is just going to be there. These I did buy new. I forgot that these little containers were actually at Walmart in a new storage area, and I love them because they are all completely stackable and they're so pretty. So I went ahead and got those. This side is Adrian's area. He's working from teaching textbooks also. The difference is that he's working out of the CD-ROM one. So the CD-ROMs are there. I forgot to mention Vincent is working out of the 4.0, so it's completely online. So Adrian has this little area here where he has extra paper. He has a little notepad if he has to work out any problems, anything like that. Some little cheat sheets on the Roman numerals, anything like that is just kind of stored in there. He's also working on to the millions place value. So I just kind of put that there. So it's easy for him to just kind of grab if he needs it. I'm trying to think. Oh, I forgot to talk about this one. So this unit here has just tons of extra math manipulatives. A lot of the stuff in here are mainly things that I use with my daughter. The counting chips, money, the little adding. We use these for adding blocks. There's place value cards, pretty much all the math manipulatives that you can think of. There's actually, this thing is filled with math manipulatives. I know I have a problem with math manipulatives. I love them. This little shelf was empty and I kind of just had it in the corner. So I decided to just kind of put it there with some of the math books. Now these are just like reference math books. Also, I also added their coding books. So for now, it's pretty empty, but I'm sure throughout the school years I'm sure it'll fill up. So that is our new little designated math area. Next new area is our nature area. And it's not that it's new, I just expanded in our nature area. We're in spring now and we're going into obviously the summer months. My kids tend to spend a lot more time outside and I knew that they were going to be collecting a lot more things. So I went ahead and expanded it. What I did was I did buy this at Goodwill. The last time I went, it was like $7, I think. And I've been wanting a older magazine rack. So, because I have a lot of, if you guys have nature books, you guys know that a lot of these nature books are pretty big. So I just wanted somewhere that they fit because obviously they don't fit in my little nature shelf. So I just wanted a little place for them and I found that and I went ahead and got it. So anything that they collect, any of our nature type of books, whether it be survival guides, fossil books, nature books, Texas wildlife books, anything that would be nature-y is going to be here. So that is our little nature area. I did change up our posters and just kind of added some really cool nature posters that I found at this really cool boutique. On this side, we have our regular nature area. Now I did switch the shelves from my last video. And again, a lot of it has to do with my chalkboard. My chalkboard creates a lot of dust. And I noticed that this table, because it's out, it was collecting a lot of chalk dust. So this shelf, obviously it has the border there. So it tends to kind of protect our things a little bit better. So that's the reason why I decided to switch all of that. But the kids have collected a lot of really cool things. I'll give you guys a quick little view because I do get a lot of questions about our nature area on my Instagram and the things that are on it. So I'll give you guys a quick little look. Okay, so now that takes us into our chalkboard area. So if you've ever had a chalkboard, it creates so much dust. I've even purchased dustless chalk and it still creates dust. So I got rid of the little collapse unit that was under here because everything that was in there was just chalky. And I got this really cute little shelf from IKEA a couple weeks ago. And I just kind of placed it there because I do need a spot for my chalk, the chalk erasers. And now it's easier to control the chalk dust because it does collect. If you guys see it, it does collect on the shelf, but I'd rather have it collect on that shelf than on our products and our things. So there's our chalkboard, and I did make this chalkboard myself. It's a piece of white laminate because I do get a ton of questions about it. You can't really see, but I painted the back side of it. So it's just the back side of it, and this is a 6 by 8 foot, I think. I can't remember. It's pretty big. Okay, now we're going into my little library area, which is one of my favorite areas. And I am going to apologize ahead of time. We do have one of those windows. I forgot what they're called. But it's a window on the ceiling and it creates a terrible sunbeam right on the ground. It kind of shifts around. But anyways, that's going to be there. Sorry, guys. So this is our little library area. I did get a couple comments about my library area. Somebody wants to see a more in-depth look how I organize my books. I will be hopefully working on that video for you guys here soon so you guys can see how I organize all of my books and how I store them. So I want to say that from my last video, I do want to say that my library area might be a little different. I think it's a little bigger than it was, but we are expanding. We're getting a lot more books, or at least I'm purchasing a lot more books now that the kids are getting older. So it is going to be expanding. So next to that, that brings me to my office area. So my office area, I got rid of my office desk. Again, I was feeling like it was just becoming a dumping ground. So I wanted to kind of minimize it. So I ended up using the yellow Kallax unit to just kind of store all of my things that I have, which is just printer paper, really. I'll show you guys. Like this one just has extra printer paper. I do have my new spiral binding machine here. I get a lot of questions on that. It is a true bind. spiral binding machine. Anything having to do with the spiral binding machine is in here. So all my coils, the clippers, it does plug in. I don't plug it in much. I usually just spiral them by hand. But all that stuff is there. My little drawers here just have tape, extra markers, things like that. Just regular office type supplies. I have my iPad here. Any printables that I might need for the school year are just kind of, some I have divided in here. Some that I'm going to use for the week are up here. More just like office type supplies are in here. Hole punchers, clips, paper clips, anything like that is going to be in there. I do have my stapler, my 3-hole puncher, and some staples back there. And then let me move my chair. My stamps, any type of stamp are down in here. Evelyn still uses these a lot. We use those actually a lot for math, like manipulatives. Instead of drawing sometimes her math problems, she stamps her math problems. It's hard to explain, but it's really cute and she loves doing that. In here, we just have all of my die cut flashcards, anything like that are going to be in here. There's a ton of them. The whole thing is full. So that is my office space. I have my little coffee thing there, my pen holder, scissors, that kind of stuff there, smelly markers, my lamp, my planner that's not really a planner is there. Up here, I just have extra, the thicker paper, the 24, what is it, the 24 pound that I use for my planner. And then these are the clear sheets for anything that I spiral bind. It's like a little clear sheet. Ink, Sharpies. I have to hide the Sharpies now for my daughter. And then my printers. And I do have 2 printers. I get a lot of questions. I do have the Epson Eco-Tank 3760. And I do also have a Lexmark. Now my Lexmark is a laser printer. It prints super fast, double-sided. It's a lot more expensive to maintain. The ink cartridges can run you up to $200. It only prints in black and white, but it prints beautifully and fast. Right now it's actually out of ink. I actually need to put that on my shopping cart. But for any kind of just black and white, quick teacher guides, things like that, that's what I use that for. Down there's extra printables in that container, extra printables. And then this little cart here, because I don't have an office space anymore, really. That little table is what I use for anytime I print things out. That's where I stack them up and have them ready for that thing, for my spiral binding. So that's just kind of like a little stopping point. So I don't have a ton of things on my desk. All of our curriculum for next year is right there in those 2 red bins. One of them's for the boys, one of them's for Evelyn with some extra things. This is my curriculum shelf. It's a little bit out of sight, out of mind, but I've been trying to change that. I'm trying to use some of the things that I already have. I don't know if you guys saw me mention, I'm shopping my curriculum shelf for a lot of things for Evelyn. So I'm kind of trying to just kind of go through this stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Evelyn's little curriculum cart is here. That's where all her things that we're working through are. This is my mom cart. I have my teacher guides all there, my pens, any kind of divider, my checking, grading pencils are here. My happy planner stickers are there. I have stickers that I use for the kids' work whenever I grade it. Stamps that I use. I've been trying to be better about dating the kids' work. So I have that there. Their timer that actually is supposed to go there, but it keeps falling. Extra tape and hole punchers. And then Evelyn's little sound proofing headphones that she uses a lot. She tends to get distracted with the boys a lot. So we use these a lot for her. There's extra markers here, washi tape. Again, just things that I tend to use a lot more. So this little cart just kind of sits right there because when we're doing school, that's where I sit with the kids. So this is our little work table. Evelyn sits here. The boys sit there. And then obviously, like I said, I sit there. This closet back here just kind of holds a lot of our extra things. I still have to store a lot of their art projects. I have a bin, actually. It's hard to see, but there's a black bin back here. That's where I keep most of their art projects. But I want to go through them first because I don't think we'll be saving everything. And a lot of our schooling games and things like that are in here. Some are stacked up here. They're behind Evelyn's little thing. And inside the drawers. So that is just kind of what we have. There's a bunch of stuff back here, but again, because I rearranged the schoolroom, my closets did become a little bit of a dumping ground. So they're not super organized at this point. And then that brings us to this area. This is where we keep all of the boys' curriculum. The top shelf is Vincent's little cubby, and then that's Adrian's little cubby, and that's what we're working through for the rest of the school year until we start all of our new stuff that is back there. So that is it, guys. That is our room tour. If you guys have questions about anything, please feel free and let me know. For now, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.